We're standing now in front of the tomb of King David, and I don't know if you can hear in the background the Jewish praying of the Mincha, second prayer. Let's listen to it a little bit. It's a beautiful prayer. But we're here to visit the tomb of King David, and that's for Rebecca, Leon, and Lara, their daughter. The tomb is here. Let's talk about it. It's there actually behind that wall, but let's talk about it here mainly because it's won't be easy for me to speak in a small place that a lot of Jews are praying there. Let's talk about King David. King David was still holy for Jews, Christians, and Muslims, and that's why so many people want that place for themselves. Let's start with the Jews. According to the Bible, God chose him to be the king of Israel, and he is the one who captured Canaan and turned it into one state of Israel, and the capital was Jerusalem. According to what we know, King David died in the city of David. The question is, where is the city of David? And that we don't know. Then a lot of speculation, and the most important one is right here, and we will enter soon to the synagogue that marks the tomb of King David. But I must tell you that it's a tradition from the 10th century. Then what's happened to the 2000 years before? Then there are so many options. One of them is that city of David, which is an amazing place outside the walls of Jerusalem today, not so far away from the Western Wall, the Wailing Wall. And soon I will go there and prepare a video for you, and I'll try to mark where can it be. But a lot of the Jews actually accepted that place as the tomb. The Christians, they adore King David because Jesus came from his dynasty. Then in that case, he is holy forever. For the Muslims believe that King David is very important, but he wasn't a king, he was a prophet. And then in that case, they really adore him as well. The structure that you see here marks three of those traditions. The first part is, the lower floor is the tomb of King David. Above it, which is a Jewish synagogue, above it is the room of the Last Supper, the Kanaklo, and you can see a minaret, a Muslim minaret. And in that case, we do have stories of let's talk about what's happening here. First of all, that place has been destroyed so many times that nothing is original. It's not like a room from the first century. And the tomb, as we believe, is mostly from the Roman time and up. Still, it doesn't say that it's not a tomb. And if you ask me, why not to believe that this is the tomb of King David? And even though it might be not, it's not important. The idea is to bless yourself in that area. That's true for the room of the Last Supper, which is a different story, but mostly is from the 12th century. I mean, most of the room is from the 12th century and up. It doesn't mean that it wasn't there. At the 15th century, the Jews wanted that room for themselves, actually that building for themselves. They couldn't accept the idea that there is a church about a synagogue. The Christians had the same problem. They didn't understand why the tomb of King David is not part of their tradition. Then they went to the Mamluks, the Muslims, and the Muslims said, all right, לחניה?
לא,
אוקיי.
איפה החזק של הסעודה?
רגע, אני אעצור רק רגע. She wanted to know where is the entrance to the room, the Last Supper. Then in that case, the 15th century, they had some problems. Who will own that room? And the Mamluk said, King David, which is not a king, is a prophet. Prophet Dawood is holy for us too. Then go away, dear Christians. And then they went down to the tomb of King David and said, sorry, that was for the Jews. And then they went up to the room, the Last Supper, and say to the Christians, Jesus is our prophet as well, is the prophet, very important one, just before Muhammad, and in that case, go away, dear Christians, and they turned it into a mosque, and that mosque was operated as a mosque until the 20th century. There is the side of the tomb. The tomb is supposed to be right there. And we will enter soon to it. But the Muslims built a fake tomb of King David just there. See where the balcony is? There's a room just above the tomb of King David. And in that case, they allowed the Jews and the Christians to visit the fake tomb of King David for so many times. The most important day for King David for the Jews is the Jewish Pentecost, Shavuot, which is 50 days after Passover. Until the 6th century, the Christians celebrate or mark the day of King David as the 25th of December. That part was, all over Mount Zion, and we are at Mount Zion, that at the 4th century was a huge church that actually the room, the Last Supper was part of it, and the room that they marked King David was part of it as well, the House of Mary and so many other places. Today, Mount Zion is mostly a religious site of Christians and Jews. Now, Rebecca, I will enter soon with that package, which I'm not sure that I will be allowed to take it out and bless it, because this is not a Jewish tradition. But here you will see 3 things that I bought for you, for Laura and for Leon. I bought 4 handkerchiefs that from Hasidic girls. That's what the Jewish ladies are using. And just a moment, please. The Holy Book is the Bible. It's the New and the Old Testament with the Lord's Prayer on the cover. It's an olive wood cover, and some sand from the Holy Land. I will try to bless it at the synagogue, but I'm not sure that I will be able to do that. They are very strict there. But let's talk a little bit about the mezuzah that I bought for Laura. Why for her? Mainly because we feel the energy of her. Now, a mezuzah is a religious item that you will find in every Jewish house. But that mezuzah is not a Jewish mezuzah. Here you can see the word Shin, which is Shaddai, one of the names of God. You can see the Jewish menorah and the Star of David. But here you can see the fish, which is a symbol of the first Christians. The first symbol wasn't the cross, it was a fish. If they actually walked with a cross, the Roman soldiers could could crucify them or kill them. Now, this is the house of the mezuzah. In it, there is kind of a blessing that I already bought it for you, and I will give it a copy, one copy for you, and one of it I will put inside the house of the mezuzah. And let me show you some mezuzahs. For example, here it is. Then you can see this prayers in it, and you must put it under past drop of the entrances. I will show you that there is a mezuzah here as well, although it's not a structure, it's not a house, but still people are entering to it. Then in every Jewish house you will find it, and we will find it at the entrance to King David's tomb as well. Now let's try to enter. And one day, when the Jews are entering to that place, they actually kiss it, and when they're actually entering and going out, and that reminds them, God is here. Respect God, follow His wishes. I mean, his mitzvahs, musts. Then I will try to be as quiet as I can. We will enter to King David tomb, to the man's department, because it's kind of a synagogue. And this is the David, another David. And you can see the mezuzah here. Then we will have to divide ourselves to men and women, but I'm still a man. Then I will go to the man's department and put my mask on. And מה שלומך? בסדר.
איפה התיירים שלך?
Where I'm a tourist? I don't know, still at home. By David. Then a man must put a yarmulke, kippah on his head, and I will do that. And if you see some part of the palms songs that, according to what we give King David wrote for us. Then let's start with it. I will read a small part of it in Hebrew. I'll try that you will be able to hear it. Kaf Bet. I will try to translate to you at the video itself. It will be difficult, but I will try. Shir HaMa'alot LeDavid. We are reading from right to left. שמחתי בהמרים לי בית אדוני נלך, עמדות היו רגלינו בשערי ירושלים, ירושלים הבנויה כעיר שחברה לה יחדיו, ששם עלו השבטים שבטי אדוני עדות לישראל, להדות לשם אדוני, כי שמה ישבו כיסאות למשפט, כיסאות לבית דוד, שאלו שלום ירושלים, שלב אהבתך יהא שלום בחילך, שלווה בארמונותיך, למען אחי ורעי אדברה נא שלום בך, למען בית אדוני אלוהינו יבקשה טוב לך. Then let's start to read some words that you know. Yerushalayim, Jerusalem. And then the house of David. Lebet, house, David in Hebrew. Beautiful, isn't it? I will try to translate it to you, but from right now I will try to be quiet. The first part is the synagogue itself, and the second one is the tomb. But you can see here the mitzvahs as well. See Laura? It's there. Now that's the menorah. We saw it at the mezuzah, and that's the entrance to the women department. The women must be covered. And see the ladies are covered, cover the shoulders and the knees. Madam, you can see that you can get some shrouds to cover yourself with it. And I'm so happy that I could bless it Rebecca, Leon, and Lara in the tomb. It wasn't busy. I could even sit there and pray for you. Then, if you love that video, and then I will ask you to subscribe it. At the description, you will find a lot of information about King David, and how to reach me if you want to talk with me, to ask me questions. Then see you in my next video. I'm so happy that I've been with you. Thank you very much. Oh, before I forget, if you want me to bless the Bible or something else at any place in the Old City of Jerusalem, go into the description. You will find the link for Buy Me a Coffee, and there you will find some information about it, but you can always ask me to send you the link of it. If you reach that point, which is almost 80 minutes, please say something, right? I will read everything that you will mention. See you. Bye bye.